Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Teen Dog podcast. Now this time I'm going to be talking about number 4, Timeslip, the time of the tipping point. Now the third box series, the one I've just talked about, is set in 1914, and this one is set, well, let's read the synopsis. The time travellers find themselves in an alternate world 30 years in the future. The peoples here are living simplified, back-to-basics lives, having been told they averted the ecological tipping point by radically changing their way of life. However, the team soon find out that the world governments are still preparing for a catastrophic environmental disaster that will alter the planet forever. Only a chosen few will survive, so Liz, Simon, Jade, Neil and Charlotte must work together to find the barrier and escape certain death. Again, based on the 1970s ITC drama. So, what we've got here is, it called it 2060, 2060. And it's quite, well, it's not overly complex, it's perfectly understandable. And what you've got is the ecological tipping point of the entire planet Earth, where if we don't start fixing things, we can't fix things anymore. It's too broken. And that's what this world is apparently preventing. I say apparently. From that synopsis you can guess. Now, what I did was I listened to Series 3 and then went straight into Series 4 without checking any notes or anything. So narratively wise, I didn't know anything about this. It starts with a lovely little fishing thing going on. And then certain characters from that world are established. And then our heroes arrive. Most of them. It's always good to split the narrative between a few people. And here we've got that age-old people thing of one person playing multiple parts as well. So we've got that as going on. It feels so tremendously ITC. And yet it also feels so prescient. It's incredibly well written. Helen Goldwyn's done a great job on this one. Although her original idea with the holograms would probably work better in a Doctor Who story. So Helen, don't give up on that one. Go back and write it now. I'm telling you straight away. Do that one for Doctor Who, okay? This one, it's very, very nice. In fact, no, that's damning with faint praise. It's a cracking story. As an end to a really, really strong box set series, it goes out on a high. It genuinely does. And because it's the last one, that level of worry about how people are going to survive is always there. You've really come to learn and understand these characters and love them. And I will miss them. The ecological storyline and messages included in here aren't just preaching as you get into some other stories. They're so much more cleverer than that. So, I'm a big fan. What else can I say that isn't a spoiler? What I want to do is play the trailer and have you decide. And ideally, what I want you to do is go away, listen to it, then have a chat with me about it, because I really enjoyed it. I didn't know anything about Timeslip when I started this, and I still haven't gone back and watched the original ITC series, mainly because I can't find it anywhere. Perhaps by accident I'll find it on ITVX. You know, when you scroll all the way through the menus and suddenly come across absolutely everything you've been looking for. Have you looked at the ITVX stuff that's available for free? The Prisoner, Space 1999, all of the, everything's there. Sapphire and Steel. I'm sure that this might end up being there in a classic section. Because I, for one, genuinely want to see this. I really felt for the characters involved and couldn't work out a solution to the problem any more elegant than the one that was actually presented on screen. So here's the trailer, decide for yourself. On the screen, what am I saying? The pictures from the audio were so visual that I still think I actually watched this. And that is testimony to brilliant storytelling. Here's the trailer, decide for yourself. Until next time, be seeing you.
There's a kind of gateway. We call it the barrier. Not everyone can pass through it, but there's a small group of us. We're trying to get back to our own world.
From Big Finish Productions, Timeslip. The time of the tipping point.
It's 2053.
30 years into the turnaround, and climate change is now so stable that London's multi-million-pound flood barriers are now obsolete.
Technology's a dirty word these days.
You may not be flooded with water, but you're certainly flooded with propaganda.
We could all see it on the news. The ice caps melting. If we hadn't turned things around, we'd all be underwater by now.
Welcome to the Oasis.
Well done to all those who continue to work towards the rehabilitation of Mother Earth.
Oh, wow, that's you.
Yeah, but way older.
Remind me, when did President Riley come into power?
Neil Riley, saviour of the world.
Sounds too good to be true, doesn't it?
Simon, what's up?
Your data doesn't add up.
Attention, attention. This is a code orange. Repeat, a code orange.
Liz, take my hand. Simon, you too. Try to hold on.
Get ready to hold your breath!
Big Finish. For the love of stories.
They blew it. They actually blew it.
That was the Tin Dog Podcast. Everything discussed is the intellectual property of others. No infringement is intended. For early access to reviews, follow the show on YouTube or Twitter @Tin Dog Podcast. To contact the show, email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.